What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another video here on the SharpDiv YouTube channel. In this video today we're going to give our thoughts and a little reaction to Motherwell 1, Rangers 1. Now unfortunately I could not do the post-match reaction yesterday, but we're here today to face some music, because it's all well and good, isn't it, when your team's winning every single week, which Rangers have been doing since September, coming on talking about Scottish football, talking about Rangers, bigging them up when everything's so good. But when they drop points like they did yesterday, you need to come on, you need to give you a bit as well, and that's what we'll do today. But before we do actually jump into the football and talk a wee bit about it, let's actually just take our hats off to Motherwell. I'm not taking mine off actually, to be fair, because it's absolutely atrocious under here. You don't want to see it, it'll ruin your week for sure, even more than the Rangers results probably done. But in the preview we spoke about what are Motherwell going to do. They've played a 5-3-2 versus Rangers in the last two encounters. They played a 5-5 in the last one after going 1-0 up. So what were they going to do? What was their approach going to be in this game? Were they going to go for a workman-like midfield and try to just outrun Rangers in there, try and be physical, etc, etc, with the 5-3-2, or were they actually going to go with a 4-3-3? And I said in the video, I hope they go with a 4-3-3, because when you match up against Rangers like that, you go after Rangers, I would fully expect Rangers to capitalise on that, play a lot better than they did in that first half versus Motherwell, and punish the other team. And Motherwell did start the 4-3-3, so you're rubbing your hands, you're like, wow, this could be good today. You know, if we get an early goal, it could be double decent. But it wasn't to be, and Motherwell were absolutely brilliant for that first 45 minutes. Especially in the first 20-25 where they break the deadlock. Let's talk about the goal firstly, and let me know in the comment section below if you think this one was preventable. If you take out all the wee silly mistakes that Rangers done, and the biggest mistake that Rangers done in the lead up to that goal, it's actually really well worked. They get the shy on the halfway line, it's some nice wee intricate passes, they get it out wide, it's a 1-2, it's a cut back from Tony Watt that's brilliant, and it's right to Devante Cole, who's got good movement, pulls away, puts it in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to Motherwell. But when you actually break it down, and you maybe look at the speed at which Motherwell attacked Rangers for this move, it was a wee bit slow. You know, I've seen teams attack us way faster than that, and we've dealt with it way better, you know, in European competition and such, versus Benfica and Liège and even like Galatasaray and all that in the playoff round. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the move, because I still think it was a really good goal. But there's some bits in it where you're just a wee bit like, he could have did this, he could have did that, he could have done that. And the biggest for me was Leon Balogun not protecting the front post well enough, in my opinion. Now let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. As Tony Watt gets the ball and he goes to cut it back, Balogun is half thinking that it's going to be a cutback. He hesitates for that split second, and as he does so, it means that he doesn't get that extra step closer to the front post to guard it, and it just goes across. And you just can't let that happen. We've done the exact same thing in the Motherwell game as well a couple of months ago. And if you actually look at a lot of the goals Rangers have conceded this year, it's from crosses into the box, low driven crosses, but we're not actually stopping the cross, A, and B, guarding the front post well enough. And it's all well and good saying, well, if Phil Hollander was playing, he would have done it, and he probably would have did it better than what Balogun done. But if pretty much all of us could have predicted the starting 11, we'd have probably went with Balogun, because he's form, because he also what he gives you. He gives you that pace in behind. You know, they started Devante Cole, they started Tony Watt, they even started Seedorf as well. So Balogun, with his recovery runs, was going to be pivotal in this if they tried to turn us. And Hollander, of course, doesn't have that pace. So sometimes when something happens in a game and it's negative in which Balogun done that Hollander could do better, everybody starts jumping on it. But all it is Balogun needs to improve at defending the front post. And this can't be a regular theme that continues. It needs to be something that Rangers eradicate. And I'm sure they'll be watching it, they'll be analysing it, and it'll be something that they try and improve on, for sure, you know. Pretty much every goal as well that we've conceded this season, Goldson has been fuming, hasn't he? He's been absolutely raging at folk no picking up their men, letting men run after them, not guarding the front post, as we've already said. And I'm trying to think, is there even a goal that he's been culpable for this season? I don't think so. He's been absolutely solid. I thought he was good again yesterday. He was driving the team forward at points as well, and he probably had, in fact I think he did have more shots on goal than the Rangers midfield, which that's not good enough, is it? But it's no panic stages, it's far from that. You know, there's been a lot of hysteria again. If you look at the last time Rangers won the league, they lost multiple games, And I think it's only been in recent times where everything needs to be a win. And of course, we're at Rangers Football Club, you need to win. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture is we're still unbeaten. That was our first drop point since September. And if we go on another run like we did in September to now, then we'll be absolutely cushy. Of course, now the Ross County game's huge. It was already huge because every game up until the last game is going to be huge for Rangers this season. But it's now one that they need to go and bounce back from. And so far this season, I've seen every indication that this team will do that. You know, and it'll be good to see Ryan Jack back as well. I think we are missing Ryan Jack big time, to be honest. And Scotty Arfield, the energy he gives you is just unbelievable. You know, we've got big Joe Aribo playing in the midfield at the moment. I think he's a wee bit of a luxury player, and I would actually rather him a wee bit further forward in the right wing position. You know, I think he just gives you a wee bit more there, and maybe in an attacking mid position where he doesn't need to focus on defending. But moving on from the goal then, Rangers started to probably wake up. Still were a wee bit lethargic, but they started to dominate the ball. They started pushing Motherwell back. The high press that Motherwell were adopting wasn't as effective, and they were making them work. Unfortunately, they weren't creating enough opportunities. The biggest one that stands out to me was the Alfredo Morelos opportunity. And then after that, you were just thinking Cedric Eaton, we need to see his introduction. He comes on for Hadji, who I thought was quite poor on the day. It's the second game on the bounce for me that he's not been at the standard. Eaton will be chapping on that door for a start in the next game for sure. But just as Cedric comes on, it's almost like the game changes into one that Hadji would have been more beneficial for. Rangers just dominate the ball in the second half. But again, they just don't test Kelly enough for my liking. The final delivery was probably a bit off from Tav yesterday, and maybe even Barisic at points as well, even though he makes a cross that gets Rangers the goal. The amount of opportunities we had down the wide areas, the quality just wasn't there yesterday, which is going to happen. Both of them have been magnificent for Rangers in the last couple of years, especially Tav this season. He's just been on another level, and it's not always going to be his day. You can't just always rely on Tav to bail you out, you know, and that's maybe something I've seen at points as well. Sometimes the players were trying to pass the ball to Davis to try and bail us out, or trying to pass the ball to Tav to try and whip that cross in. I would maybe like to see a wee bit more initiative for the Rangers midfield and certain players within the forward line taking that initiative and grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and going and getting the 3 points, which Cedric Eaton, by all comparisons, tried to do when he came on, and his finish was brilliant. It really was. The movement to just peel off, I think it was Mugabe, who was brilliant all day, by the way, my man of the match in the game. He was able just to pull off him, and then the composure and the finish to put it in the net, and the celebration as well. I absolutely loved it. No interested in running away to the sideline and looking pretty. He's just shows the passion, and he's wanting to get back into position to go and get the 3 points. Unfortunately for Rangers, it wasn't to be. The biggest opportunity we probably had was to Jermaine Defoe, but there was one to Aribo earlier that he skied. I think that was at 1-0, but the Defoe chance was the one, wasn't it? He takes an unbelievable touch, and you're just thinking, this is Defoe territory. This is what he's made of. This is his finishes, and he puts it straight at Kelly. And at that point, I was like, that was a chance. That was a chance to get all 3 points, and we never got it. So in summary, moving forward, there was positives probably to take out the second half, but Rangers need to be good for 90 minutes. You can't show up in this league and not be good for 90 minutes, start thinking of this, start thinking of that, because teams will punish you. And bottom of the league punished us yesterday in that first 45 minutes. Showed us a lesson in pressing. Wow, that rhymed. Okay. But aye, they showed us a lesson in pressing for 45 minutes, and it's something that Rangers have been doing to other teams so far this season. They showed us how it was done in the first 45 minutes. Rangers still looking pretty at the top of the table. They welcome Ross County Ibrox in the next encounter, and then it's off to Easter Road, which will be an absolutely huge game. But that is going to do us for this video. I've had to just go through this quite fast. I've not really had time to prepare what I wanted to say or anything like that, but it's been quite raw. I've just flew through some topics, probably been everywhere, here, there and everywhere, but I didn't want to not make a video on this, because it would just give the impression that I only make them when Rangers win, because they've obviously been winning quite a lot. So I'm here, we're out here, and we dropped points. That is what it is, we move on for it. But I've been SharpDiv, you've been yourself. If you want to follow me and any of my other socials, they're in the comment section below, the description, sorry. And that is going to do us for this video. I've been SharpDiv, you've been yourself, stay positive, and I'm out.